So, I don't know if anybody's interested or not, but fuck, I'm banned from my main channel, which is probably going to be terminated sooner rather than later. So I figured I'd just come on here and tell you what I just did. I saw Evil Dead Rise, and here is my review of it. Okay, I can't with these people orgasming over a fucking movie. Whenever it never fails to get me. Whenever a movie is like 98%, 97% of Rotten Tomatoes, and every fucking horror fan or movie fan is, this is the best movie. This is so great. This movie's awesome. Oh my God, it's like you never see anything. This is so scary and so violent. I'm an idiot. I should never fucking, ever since that fucking movie, It Follows, you know, where nothing followed a girl around except naked old people. Remember they gave it like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? Okay, so I'm not saying this is a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie at all. There were just problems with it. Okay, first of all, Evil Dead, if you know the whole story, you know, somebody reads a book of the dead, somebody really stupid, and then people get infected, and really, really gory shit happens. That's all you need to know, right? So it's a popular franchise, and this one was called Evil Dead Rise because it was going to be set in a high-rise, and I'm like, oh my God, they have so much potential. Like, I think of high-rise buildings downtown Chicago, New York. They have swimming pools in there, they have gymnasiums, they have grocery. You could have gone batshit crazy. What they mean by Evil Dead Rise is a dilapidated building that could have been on the south side of any city. Like, it's not even, I wouldn't even call it a high rise. I would say it's about 20 floors or something like that. And we're introduced to a character who's like a druggy whore. I don't know. She's first thing we see her, she's on the toilet because she's classy. And she's taking a pregnancy test. And we know she's rock and roll because she's in the club. So then she decides to go visit her sister, who's also like, you know, rock and roll cool mom. And she's got a little annoying blonde daughter, and she's got like a little like, kind of effeminate blonde son, and then she's got her little like lesbian main daughter. I think she's I don't know. She's like, you can tell this was made like for a Gen Z audience because this girl looked like a little boy. Every time I kept seeing the teenage girl in this, I'm like, oh, she looks like a little boy. Is that a little boy getting splashed with blood? There were certain parts, because there was so much blood, that I couldn't tell if there were little boys and I mean, like, you know, teenage boys and little kids. I couldn't tell if it was them or her, whatever them is. And my problem with it is you had so much potential. It was in a real high-rise building. Instead, we basically just get the same thing. You get a bunch of zombies running around. Ever seen how gory it is? It is no more gory than the 2013 Evil Dead remake. And I'd go as far as to say that remake was far superior to this movie. First of all, now it's not even a Book of the Dead. It's a Book of the Dead that comes with like 3 records. And now they're on records and shit like that. And they kind of just fuck up the whole backstory because I don't know why. And all this fucking really gory parts in this movie are so CGI. There's a part where the lady's got a knife, like one of the zombies has a knife kind of stuck in their nose, and they're kind of just sitting there with a knife in their face. It's so obviously CGI to me. It's like, I feel like the last Evil Dead did so much more in terms of practical effects and, you know, shit like that. And let's just get to some main points that I have with the problem with this film. First off, you know, everybody seems really to take it all in really, really fast that, you know, their mom's possessed by a demon and she's breaking her own legs and she's, you know, hacking at herself and other people. Like, it takes them 5 minutes to kind of like be, oh, this is what's happening. Nobody is like paranoid and vomiting in the kitchen. Like, what is happening? Nobody's doing that. I don't even think one of the kids cries. Like, I think they're just like, okay, this is a normal weekend for us. The main little girl in the movie, who's like 6 or 7 years old. Listen, I'm all for kids being whatever movie they want to be, but I'm seriously want to know what type of parents put their girl, a 6-year-old, she's got to be 6'7" max, in a movie where she is literally covered in buckets and buckets of blood. She's swimming in blood rivers. Like, this girl is not even the character, this little girl is going to be traumatized for the rest of her fucking life. Like, anybody who thought that was a great idea, I don't know, you should have made the kid a little bit older, that's all. Oh God, look at these fucking homos. So that's what happened. The movie wasn't that fucking great. I didn't think it was that awesome. I got bored. And the end of the film kind of loops back to the beginning of the film, which is just literally like, there's no such thing as character development anymore. There's like nothing as far as character development anymore. You know why? Because nobody cares about characters. Seriously, like, it could have been interchangeable white girl, interchangeable Puerto Rican neighbor, interchangeable, like, there's nobody you give a shit about in this film. Like, we all know what's pretty much going to happen. If you see any of these films, a bunch of people are going to fucking die, and we all know who's going to live. We all know. There's no spoilers, but you can look at the poster, and you can kind of guess who's going to die and who's not going to die. But, yeah, so, I mean, I'd say I don't know what people are talking about. There's this whole thing with like fucking fandom and like people like saying, this is the best. Oh my God, this is the best. But no, it wasn't that fucking great. It really wasn't. It was okay. If I saw it on cable, I wouldn't pass it by. Like if I had, you know, I don't know, if it was on pay-per-view, I might have rented it and seen it and been like, oh, okay. Pass the time, you know. Usually either jerk off, you know. I'm kind of wishing I'd jerked off now, but whatever. So, yeah, that's my main idea of, review of The Evil Dead Rise. Nothing rose. Only thing that rose is my dick when I saw this hot motherfucker going right past me. Well, that's a different story. But there you go. That's my opinion, and just don't believe the hype. I don't know.